This is the Sergent Sharon couplers. This was RNB87K. And I got a bulk. I think there's like 100 of them or something like that. This is their uncoupling wand. It's got a magnet on both ends. It just opens up. You can just use that as a little finger to brush the knuckle open. Works really well. For the Sharon couplers, I tried to do some couplers, build them with and without this tool. On their website they say, you know, you should get this tool for a lot of the couplers, but with the Sharon ones they said make sure you get this, and I was like, oh, we'll see. I ended up getting it anyways. It was like $5 or something, and it is virtually impossible to build these Sharon couplers without this tool, because no matter how much you set it everything perfectly on the table, the knuckle just falls out. So you have to have this to build them. I couldn't figure out how to do it without it, so, and it works really well. It's $5, but they're so extremely tiny. Some of them are the size of rice, or not even. They're smaller than rice, so it's very, very difficult to build these without that tool. You just couldn't do it. I don't think you could do it. So make sure you guys, if you get these Sharon couplers, you have to get this tool. I think the best thing to do is just sit down and go nuts and build all of them together, because once you get in a rhythm, I started making a couple. Once you get in a rhythm, you figure out how to do it, then I just go completely crazy, and I want to build all these. Maybe it'll take me an hour to do them all. I'm not sure, we'll see. But I just want to get it all done with, and once they're done, they're done. One thing I found is you can see there's like those little tiny grains. There's just millions of these little grains. I don't know what they are, something with the manufacturing. But you can see they're in between the little grooves there and down in that pit. They're all over the place. There's one there too. And I'm just taking them out. But you take them out. Now that I've built quite a few of these, I feel like I've gotten it down to a system, and it's very quick, and I'll just share how I'm doing it right now. First off, I'm using the BSI it's a 106 glue. It's a purple bottle. I find that this glue is perfect. It's not too thick, not too runny, so I get the purple one. There's other different colors that are more runny and whatnot. But anyways, I've tried every kind of AC super glue that I could get my hands on, and some of them are just pure junk, some of them are okay, but this glue, there's nothing that even compares to it. I'll put the link in the description and you can find it on eBay or wherever. But this is the best glue I've ever used in my entire life, and I go through tons of it now. So another thing is to pick up the little balls here. You want to take a screwdriver and just take a magnet and rub it from one end to the other just to charge this. You can find other videos on how to do that, but that way you can pick up these balls a lot easier. So there it is, it's on there, whatever this stuff is. Flick it out, make sure it's not in here. Pick up a ball bearing, drop it in, pick up the knuckle, set it on, and then put a little bit of glue here. I just put one little dot and it does about 10 couplers. And I just put a dab around here. Press it in, push it down. And then I wipe off this because I don't want glue residue getting on there, it would build up. Rub them together, make sure they're all working. Look at that, perfect. So I have most of the couplers built now, and oh my gosh, these take a long time. I have spent a couple, maybe a few hours. I'll probably be done in probably 3 hours or something to finish all these couplers. I just took a break and I painted some, so this is how they naturally are. And then I did some rust, some grimy black, some boxcar brown, and some special oxide red. They look so good painted, and it doesn't mess them up if you get paint. Like if you paint them, it doesn't stop them from opening and closing. So that's really good. I'm sure there'll be some that are gummy, but most of them, I haven't found any yet so far that have gummed up. And then I installed a couple on some different things, and I thought I'd just show you some installations I've done and how I did it. The website said that these were a short shank and they would drop straight into Blackstone engines, or into Blackstone stuff. They don't. Some couplers did and some of them didn't. And so I'll show you what I did to make them fit. These are absolutely incredible couplers. Like, they look so good, but you have to do a lot of work to get them to, not a lot of work, but it takes a long time to get them to do a whole run like this. But I think it's well worth it. So what I had to do though is to fit, it's weird, sometimes like they just don't fit in there, and so then I have to drill out the centers. And so I was using a drill bit, it's a 7/64 drill bit, and it's weird, like this engine, the front I had to drill out, and then this one just dropped right in. And then their boxcar, I had to drill both of them. And with this same drill bit, 7/64, you might even be able to go smaller, but it worked really well for what I was doing. And then like this, I think this is a Clear Creek model I built. Gorgeous gondola, but they drop straight in, no problem. Actually, I had to file this, because I went with a short shank, I had to file the head and the coupler pocket just a tiny bit, but it worked pretty well. And then, so like a brass engine, this is a brass front Hallmark plow. What I did was, to get it to nicely fit in there, all I did to make it fit was into the little brass slot there, is I just took it and I squashed the coupler, and then it fits in there perfectly now, and I can still put the screw through. The screw is big and ugly though on these brass engines. I might just glue it right in. So now it just slides right in, and there's where it'd be set, and I can put the screw in. Just quickly to show you how easy they are to use, you just take this and you brush it open with this, because it pulls the ball up, and then it opens the mouth there. And you don't even need them both open. You can have one open, one closed, and they'll still latch. And yeah, it looks so good. And then there's a Blackstone. Just brush one open. And that's it. Now the whole point of this video, what I mainly wanted to show is just a size comparison with these the Sergent Sharon couplers versus all the other, a bunch of other couplers that I had. There is another one that is recommended for H13, but I asked the company, Sergent, what's the smallest they had out of the two between the Sharon and the other one. And the Sharons are older. It's an older style as far as I understand, but they're also, which is what I want, but they're also smaller. And they said they're actually somewhat noticeably smaller, and that's what I want. I like small couplers with tons of detail, and everything I've looked at about these just looked like an incredible amount of detail, and it's very true. They're so cool. I just love how they work and the details and everything. Now I don't have the other couplers, I'm just looking at the computer here. They are, and the other ones that are recommended for H1 3, they're an E-type. Let's see, it says RNC87K, and then there's a B version as well. I think that's just bulk, yeah. But I didn't go with those ones because they are a little bit larger apparently, so I can't really show you a comparison of those. But I'm going to show you a comparison of all the other couplers that I do have. So first off, here is a generic horn hook. Not that you would ever use this for H1 3, but you can see the size difference. It's just monstrous. See it, the width too. And this is some sort of generic, I don't know who makes this, but it comes with all the kits. They're alright, but this is some plastic thing. Not a big fan. Here you can see how deep it is. And then this is the very popular Kadee number 5s, which is really good for S-scale. But they're huge. This is what I used for years, and they were awesome when I first discovered them, but now I use 58. And then here it is going this way, very thick. And then here's the Kadee 58, which I loved for a long time. It was the best thing I could find, and I used these for years, switched everything to these, especially my locomotives. They were so tiny. They had so much detail, I just loved them. I was thinking, how much smaller can these be compared to a 58? And but here you go, they're very small compared to a 58. They're still quite a huge difference. Now we're into H1 3. So this is a Kadee or a Microtrains 714 coupler, I think. And these were awesome. I was switching everything to these, and they're very skinny, you can see, but they're still, it's just the thumb, I think this is the thumb, it's very long. I mean, if you could cut them down, they'd be alright. And I really like these. And then going this way, they're almost identical in size going that way. The nice thing is that these will all couple with each other. So they're just a little bit clunky, but there you can see the real big pull. And these Sergeants have like zero pull. Like I can't remember what this is, coupler slop or whatever. Yeah, so it's nice that they can, you don't have to switch everything over right at once. You can, if you don't mind slipping them in and out like this. Then these are Roundhouse couplers that come with some of the kits that they did, H1 3 kits. And they're really nice for being a plastic coupler. It's well detailed. You don't get the function the same. They're slightly tinier. Good size, but I think these Sergeants are a good size too. And then here you have a key coupler for an H1 3. This is from a 260 key engine, and it's bigger. It's not too much bigger. And then here we have an Overland coupler, brass coupler. Looks to be a Sharon coupler as well, but sadly they don't couple together. They just quite fit. It's too bad because it's a really nice coupler. I'm not sure if I will take this off my loco and put on a Sharon, put on one of these Sergent ones, or just leave this one on and maybe somehow try and file it out or something. But it's a really nice looking coupler as expected. These Sergent ones just aren't quite as nice detail. This is a N scale Microtrains slash Kadee coupler. And quite a few of my cars came with some of them when I bought used cars, and I really like them. They're really nice and small. But you can see they're almost the same size again. Of course, the N scale is going to be smaller. It looks good too. It's a lot skinnier here. But yeah, it makes a nice coupler too. And these are compatible with each other as well. So if you have these installed already and you want to go to the Sharon couplers, they already work together. Yeah, but I do have some precision scale couplers as well, but they're all in packages and things. I'm not going to take them out. So very quickly, to sum it up, I think that as far as size goes, this is the order. I think that they're smallest to biggest. Then as far as looks, I would say the ones that look the best, the Overland looks the best. It's got a really nice detail, but it doesn't function. And then I would probably say the Sergent is the next best looking coupler. And then you got the Key, which looks really good. The Roundhouse is nice, but it doesn't have those like the I don't know what they are on the thumb, those ribs. Then the 58, I'd say the 58 is definitely up there because it's got the nice detail, the ribs and on top and everything. So then maybe then this Roundhouse would follow, but after that it's kind of more on size for looks, because the number 5 looks alright, but it just gets so big. Even for HO, it's kind of big. The one thing is, I'm not sure how often I'll be using this, because it's just another thing that I gotta remember to keep with me and gotta go find it all the time. But it is really, really cool how you just put it over the ball bearing and it lifts the coupler like a real pin. But I think a lot of the time I'm probably just gonna be using it just like this, pulling them apart, you know. I know it's not how they're supposed to be, but I do that quite a bit, just pull my stuff apart that way, just lift one up higher than the other and uncouple that way. So I guess here's my honest opinion about these. I'm not 100% convinced that they're the best thing in the world. If you like to just, you know, not have to worry about anything and you just like to slam your trains together, then the Kadees are still awesome. You just don't have to think, you can just bring your cars up to each other and bump there and drive away, you know? You can definitely put your trains together a lot quicker. And again, these guys, you know, it's for HO still, it's easy just to bloop and take your train away, you know? Where these, you can see I think they look a lot better for sure. But you can't just bring them up to each other and bump. They're just locked, right? So you have to have this tool, which you have to carry it everywhere you go, and that's a bit annoying. So you have to carry this tool around everywhere you go, and you have to open them with the magnet, and then you can bring your stuff in and coupler it. So it's kind of annoying. Otherwise you have to bring your cars and drop them onto each other like this, and then if you're doing that, then you might as well just go with brass couplers that are super detailed. Nothing can beat the brass couplers for detail, and they'd be a fraction of the price probably, because nobody really uses them a whole lot. It's either Kadee or I guess, yeah, some brass. But so I don't know, without this tool to open the couplers, then they're almost just like a brass coupler. I don't know, so you gotta decide. I feel like they're kind of a middle between the brass coupler and the Kadee coupler. Kadees don't have all the detail. They still look good. Then brass, you can just drop your cars onto each other almost because they're totally fixed. And without this tool, it's kind of a brass coupler that's not as detailed as nice. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And it's just nice to see a comparison of size. I had to do a lot of emailing with Sergent, but it was awesome. They would get back to me right away. They're really good customer service. Yeah, I'm really happy with these. I think they're going to be a lot of fun, and they look really good and they work really well once you get them going. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll probably have some more stuff coming pretty soon.